Renee Nicole Good is an American citizen living in a quiet neighborhood of Minneapolis. She is an exemplary woman, a poet and writer, who did not deserve this tragic end. Renee Nicole Good stopped her vehicle simply to observe the presence of several police officers, completely masked like ISIS members, patrolling the area where there appeared to be a demonstration by Minneapolis residents. Renee Nicole Good's vehicle was not blocking the road, and there was ample room for police vehicles to pass her. Renee Nicole Good's neighbor was filming with her cell phone as IC officers began filming Ms. Good. She was calm and unarmed, stating that there was no problem, but then an IC officer got out of his vehicle and shouted aggressively at the driver. ICE officers behaved inappropriately toward the driver, who was attempting to leave the scene. The scene was analyzed by a former police officer specializing in crime scenes in Canada, who discovered that Renee Nicole Good had been murdered. The investigation revealed highly aggressive officers, one of whom illegally attempted to force open the driver's door without any valid reason, creating extreme panic for the driver. The video footage shows officers attempting to open her door as if she had committed murder or a serious crime. Another masked officer walked around Renee Nicole Good's vehicle while it was moving, contrary to police orders to stay clear of moving vehicles during an intervention. The officer who walked around Ms. Good's vehicle was not dressed like the Minneapolis police officers. He positioned himself in front of her car, not directly in the center, but rather to the left of her vehicle. According to the crime scene expert, the police officer had no business standing in front of a moving vehicle while another officer was forcing open its door, causing extreme panic in the driver as she attempted to flee from the IC officers. The video footage was thoroughly reviewed, showing the driver, in a state of extreme panic, had barely shifted into drive when she was shot directly in the head. However, upon reviewing the Honda's wheels, the driver, in a state of panic, turned them completely to the right to avoid the officer positioned to the left of her vehicle. The shot was fired the instant she had just shifted into drive. The video analysis supports this theory because the driver receives 2 additional, unjustifiable shots to the head. Her car is either thrown to the right, not toward the officer who shot her, or Renee Nicole Good would never have attempted to run over the officer, given the direction her vehicle was traveling. This woman died instantly. The expert concludes that this was a serious police blunder with significant consequences caused by IC officers, resulting in the horrific death of this woman, who had no criminal record and was an exemplary citizen living peacefully in Minneapolis. Most Americans have interpreted this case as a murder committed by IC officers, and that 14 other people have died as a result of interventions by this U.S. Immigration Enforcement Agency, including 2 Mexicans and a black man. The latest developments in the investigation surrounding the death of Renee Nicole Good, a crime scene specialist, states that the intervention was illegal because the officer positioned himself in front of her vehicle and opened fire as the vehicle turned right. The officer then abandoned the victim for over 15 minutes without providing assistance. Renee Nicole Good was illegally left for dead in her vehicle, which is against U.S. law, for over 15 minutes, lying in a pool of blood. This constitutes an unforgivable blunder by IC officers. Following this, the day after Ms. Good's death, protests were organized across the United States against this immigration enforcement agency, causing serious problems for Americans, among whom Ms. Good appears to be a victim. End of quote.